Yo, what is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. Now, in this video today, we are going to be doing our MyTEAM Season 5 Age of Heroes Season Rewards. So, what does this mean? It means I'm basically giving out awards for those players included in Season 5. So, within this, we'll probably have like the Defensive Player of the Year, most underrated, most overrated, all that type of stuff in this video today before we get into like our all ruby, amethyst diamond, pink diamond, and galaxy opal teams as well. But before we dive into our Age of Heroes rewards, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, please consider smashing that subscribe button as we are on the road to 60,000 subscribers. Upload MyTEAM content every single day, and I truly cannot thank each and every one of you guys enough for all of the recent support. So our first award today goes to the cheesiest player in NBA 2K21 in Season 5. So these cards all came out in Season 5. Obviously, we don't have, the Season 4, anybody from Season 4 in here. But our first guy I'm going to talk about today is Galaxy Opal Magic Johnson. Now, for a 6'9" point guard, he is so cheesy. Trying to 5 out with Magic and just trying to guard that is so tough to defend. And honestly, he's got the Pro 2 Curry escape, got the Pro 3 moving behind the back up the court, and he's got a decent enough 3-ball. So Magic Johnson is so tough to defend, and especially when your opponent is running 5 out and you just have to try to find a way to get a stop. So tough to do against that Magic card. Our next card is Luka Doncic. Has the Anton Jameson base, 6'7", I believe, for Luka, so he's got some decent height on him, as well as having the Pro 2 Curry escape. He's not as tall as Magic, right? Doesn't have as good a dribble 6, but Luka can actually run on current gen, unlike Magic has a better release, and so they give you something a little bit different. Magic's just a little bit taller, whereas Luka's got a little bit better of a release. Next card is Wes Unseld. Now, Wes was a Spotlight Sim reward, so you did have to grind, I think, 5 or 6 players before you got Wes Unseld. But the reason he's on our cheesiest, or one of the nominees for cheesiest players, is because he's a 6'7" point center that can handle it. He's got the Pro 2 Curry escape as a center. So if you like kind of running that small ball, he's got the Kobe release with the Curry escape, 6'7", Hall of Fame quick first step. He's got it all as far as a point center. So each and every one of these players and cards are super cheesy. Ultimately, I decided that the cheesiest one of all of these is Magic Johnson. Everybody had their own case, but Magic being 6'9" at the point guard position with a good 3-ball is just absolutely incredible. So elite on both ends of the court. I think Magic is the cheesiest player that we saw in Season 5. Our next award here today is the Defensive Player of the Season. So out of all of the players that we got this season, we've got a lot of good defenders. Some guys that could have been on here that didn't quite make the cut. You got guys like Galaxy Opal Paul George, who didn't even make the cut for the Defensive Player of the Season. Guys like David Robinson didn't quite make the cut. And those guys are absolutely incredible on the defensive side, the defensive end of the court. Even like a Draymond Green, you definitely could have made the case that he should be on here. Even the Magic Johnson that we just saw, as far as a point guard, is an incredible defender. So we got a lot of great point guards. I'm going to start off with Pink Diamond Ben Wallace here. One of the most slept on cards in all of my team. Looking at Ben Wallace, guys, 6'9", has mid to upper 90s speed, mid to upper 90s lateral quickness, has basically every defensive badge you could possibly want in the game. And I know, like, he got overlooked because, I mean, we got a lot of content the day that he came out, but trust me, he's a free card for you guys to grind for. And in my opinion, as far as the center, or even if you want to run him a power forward position is concerned, is absolutely incredible. Think of Bobby Jones, but a faster, better defensive player than Bobby Jones. Just Bobby Jones on steroids really is what Ben Wallace Pink Diamond is. Then we get our Dark Matter Michael Jordan. We all know what Michael Jordan did last year with his tendencies and beating people up. This year, Michael Jordan is no different. I'm pretty sure he has 98 speed and 99 lateral quickness. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is. Has basically every badge you could possibly want. Now, the only thing for MJ that, could be a little downside is the fact that he's only 6'6". But great stats, great badges, great tendencies, as well as just being Michael Jordan. You know what you're getting on the defensive end of the court. Then we do get Scottie Pippen. 6'8", and that's the thing about Scottie Pippen that is overlooked by a lot of people. His wingspan is there as well. His player model is just super nice. He is going to be beating the opponents up and down the court, every single possession. And so I love Scottie Pippen on defense. I love MJ on defense. Ultimately, guys, I'm giving the Defensive Player of the Season award to Big Ben Wallace. Now, you guys can't judge until you use the card. Use Big Ben at your center position. guarding the pick and roll, guarding on the interior, and you'll find out that Big Ben does his thing. The next award goes to the most overrated player that we did see in Season 5. Now, I know I might get a lot of hate for it, some of these cards on here, but it's just what I believe. Remember, this is my season award, so this is only one voter out of everybody. So, first one is Galaxy Opal James Harden. Now, Fear of the Beard is not terrible in NBA 2K21, right? He's not. But the one thing about it is James Harden has never had a release be super quick. And when I say that, like a cheesy point guard release, right? James Harden's 6'5", he can attack the rim. But the thing is, his release, you need quite a bit of space to get it off. Yes, it's easy to time, it's easy to green. But to do that, you're going to need the space and separation, which isn't truly that easy for James Harden to get. Our next player is the limited reward. You guys know a lot of times I do feel like the limited rewards are overrated. Paul Gasol is no different, right? Now, he's better than I thought 2K would make him, but it's almost impossible for 2K to make Pau Gasol really like that. Now, here's the thing about Pau. Next gen, he might be decent enough. And when I say decent enough, he might be, on the verge of being an 8 through 10 best center in the game. Now, on current gen, I don't even think he's a top 10 center. So for me to sit here and say Pau Gasol is worth it for you to grind for, I just don't think that's the case. And when we're talking about, 20 plus games for the average player to get Pau Gasol, I just think there's much better things that you can spend your time towards than spending 10 hours trying to get a Galaxy Opal card, who in my opinion is not even a top 10 center in the game. Last but not least, we get Hedo Turkoglu. He's on here for one reason and one reason only. Because in 2K19, the leaner was overpowered. It was overpowered. Hedo Turkoglu was really like that. It's just now he had base 11, had one of the best leaners in the game compared to now. He has base 11, which is awful. And the leaners just, at least on current gen, aren't a thing. On next gen, they're patched a little bit. Hedo just will never return to old Hedo, and that just makes him overrated. Because one of my IRLs that used to play 2K19 was, messaged me and was like, man, I'm gonna start playing 2K now that we got a Galaxy Opal Hedo. No. Don't start playing 2K because of this Hedo card, because you're gonna hate it. But ultimately, guys, the most overrated card, in my opinion, is Galaxy Opal Pau Gasol by a pretty wide margin. Our next award goes to the most underrated player that we did see in Season 5 of NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. Our first nominee here is Galaxy Opal Clyde the Glide. Now, Clyde is very good, and a lot of the community knows about how good Clyde is, but they don't know truly the extent of how good Clyde is. And when I say that, I mean it. Clyde Drexler, especially on next gen, I think he's even better, is so elite. And the fact that you have to play like 1 or 2 hours for Clyde is just absolutely ridiculous. Now, that's if you had grinded for him before. Like, I had to grind a little longer because I didn't stay up to pace with it. But Clyde, for the grind that he's a super easy grind, and in my opinion, it's just super worth it. Has a good release, good on the defensive end of the court, 6'7", and dunks on everybody. I absolutely love Clyde. Now, the next card is Danilo Gallinari. Now, when this card first came out, I was super high on it. I loved his release, and then I just never really talked about him, right? I haven't talked about him. I see nobody running this card. And as far as the stretch 4 is concerned, you're not going to get a guy that's going to green more shots for you than Gallinari. At least that was it for me. Like, Gallo did not miss in my gameplay. You guys can go back and watch it if you want. Gallinari was literally chicken man. And so if you're looking for a card, a stretch 4, don't look further than Gallinari. Now, he is priced up a little bit because he is a moments card probably, but at the end of the day, he is going to be absolutely chicken. Now, the last but not least, we get Galaxy Opal Spencer Haywood. Here's a card in Triple Threat Online that gets overlooked and overhyped because of the Kermit Washington effect. Kermit is so good, guys, that everybody's grinding offline, when in reality, Spencer Haywood has 29 Hall of Fame badges, has 29 gold badges, low 90 speed, I think it's a 93 speed, decent lateral quickness, and he can play the center position. So here's the thing, at 6'8" with his speed and lateral quickness, he's a little worse defensive Ben Wallace, but so much better on the offensive end. And that's the thing about Spencer. It's like, I love Ben Wallace, and Spencer Haywood, in my opinion, is just a better version of Ben Wallace because he has a good release and a better 3-ball. Hot spots from 4 to 5 places around the arc. There's one guy I know a lot about. It's Spencer Haywood. I don't have anything in front of me. I just kind of memorized everything he's got. I absolutely love the card. So when it comes to the most underrated card in NBA 2K21 by a wide margin, again, I think it's Spencer Haywood. Now getting to the token reward, guys. If there's an obvious reward, this is it. Pink Diamond Kiki, I mean, guys, is he worth the tokens? No, he's Kiki. Now, Amethyst DeJounte Murray, for budget ballers, is not terrible. Like, he's got decent enough speed, decent enough lateral quickness, can lock people down. But again, just not that comp level player. And then we get to the Galaxy Open Token reward, Moses Malone, who is absolutely incredible, a top 10 center in the game. And so here's my thing, guys. Moses Malone can play in competitive type games, and so in my opinion, that easily makes him the best token reward that we saw in season 5. Our next is the budget MVP. Now, this was a tough one because I didn't know where to make the mark, right? Because if we wanted to go upwards of 20k, then you're getting into some elite players. So this is kind of the under 20k price range. First, we get Maxi Kleber, a card who goes for about 5k MT, and for his budget might be the best player in NBA 2K21, right? The bang for your buck type debate. And then we get into Klay Thompson, a card that goes for like 12k MT, I think 12 to 15k. A card who is going to be able to be knocked down from the 3-point line, defend at a high level. And you know what Klay Thompson's going to give you. Basically, the Diamond Klay is equal to the Galaxy Opal Klay. And so that's what you got to kind of keep in the back of your mind. For 10 to 15k MT, an absolutely incredible, kind of just another bang for your buck type option. And last but not least, we get Malik Sealy, mini Kawhi Leonard. He's not as good as Kawhi, but he is that mini Kawhi Leonard. Has the Ray Allen base, absolutely butter release. 18 Hall of Fame badges, 33 on gold for Malik Sealy. Now he's going to be able to stretch for attack the rim. I'm pretty sure he's got Hall of Fame showtime, and then on the defensive end, you guys know as well as I do, he is going to be absolutely incredible. So when it comes down to the budget MVP, for me, again, Malik Sealy, guys, just barely outclasses Klay Thompson and Maxi Kleber. But, I mean, Malik is the most expensive, I do believe. But in my opinion, definitely gives you the most out of each and every one of those players. The next award goes to the Mr. Inconsistent Award. And so what does this mean? Well, this means some days I would love the card, other days I can't stand the card. Some days I'm knocked down with the card, other days I can't find his release. And so the Mr. Inconsistent. First, we're going to talk about Luka Doncic. And for those of you that watched my 250k journey, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So Luka Doncic came out the day before the 250k tournament. So like when I had to play the Xbox kind of side, Luka came out the day before. So he started for me, and he didn't play too well. Like I'll say Lonzo Ball outplayed Luka Doncic on that day. But that doesn't take away from how good I know Luka Doncic can be. Like, I truly know Luka Doncic can be the best point guard in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So that's what I'm talking about, Mr. Inconsistent. Some days I love Luka, other days I can't stand Luka. And so that's just kind of the basis behind Luka. Next, Kevin Durant. Same thing with 250k. Kevin Durant might have been my best player throughout that tournament. Was knocked down, creating his own shot, and then now anytime I go to use Kevin Durant, I'm not good with the card. Like I went back on my account, which I hadn't used for a while, used Kevin Durant for the first time in like a week or two, and I could not shoot at all with the card. I know Kevin Durant's good, but again, it's just kind of that hit or miss type thing with Kevin Durant, in which I was not good with him when I went on my account the other day. Last but not least, we're going to talk about Galaxy Up with Larry Bird, in which my gameplay, I was so inconsistent with the card. I'd like green 2 in a row, white 4 in a row, green 3 in a row, white 9 in a row. Like I was just so inconsistent with Larry Bird. Like I know his release is good, but I just couldn't time it. Like I was just so inconsistent. I was consistently inconsistent with Larry Bird. But when it comes down to the most inconsistent, Luka Doncic easily takes the cake because I know he can be the best point guard in the game. But in my 250k tournament, I started Lonzo Ball in that finals against Jomar on the Xbox side because I was so uncomfortable with Luka Doncic. The next is our best Evo card in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. Now, Daniel Theis, the first one we're going to talk about here. He's not terrible. Now, I don't want to sit here and gas Daniel Theis up like he is a super good Evo and you should use him, but he is not terrible. Like, objectively, if you use Daniel Theis, you might be okay, but he is not one of the best Evos that we saw this season. So I gave it away. Daniel Theis is not going to win this award. It's really a two-horse race between Jose Calderon, who on next gen I think can be a top, I don't want to gas it, but I think on next gen you can make the case maybe that he can be a top 10, top 15 point guard in the game. With the Hall of Fame blinders, the stats that he gets, the badges, Jose Calderon is no doubt about it incredible. DBG is right about it. On next gen specifically, Jose can play. And then we get into Luwawu Cabarrot here, who, I mean guys, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I've never used Cabarrot, but the thing about it is, looking at his stats, he can play. Like, he does get range extender, he gets incredible stats, and I think like either way, Jose Calderon or Luwawu Cabarrot, either way you go, though these guys are by far and away the best Evos that we saw in Season 5. But in my opinion, guys, when it came down to the two kind of horse race, I think Jose Calderon is at one step up because of how truly overpowered he can be on next gen. The next award is our auctionable MVP, in which we see 3 Dark Matter cards here. And so what this award is, it's who's the best auctionable card that we saw in Season 5, and honestly, who's the best auctionable card in the game right now. First, we're going to talk about Kevin Garnett, who in my opinion is the best card to run at the center position right now. I think he is one step above David Robinson, and man, I might be wrong. You guys might disagree. But I absolutely love Kevin Garnett. Now, I don't love set shot 14, but I think what KG gives you outside of that is enough to really just make him absolutely incredible. So I basically said KG's the best center, okay? Then we get on to Zion Williamson at the small forward, power forward position. And if you watched my top 10 power forward video back, KG wasn't out, but you guys could see who was at number 1. It was Zion Williamson. So you guys know how truly high on Zion I am. And then MJ, last but not least, if we're talking about the shooting guard position, might be the best shooting guard in the game as well. So we got 3 guys here, all of whom are probably the best at their objective positions. And so it really was a three-way race. It was very, very tough for me to decide. But ultimately, guys, I think Kevin Garnett deserves the auctionable MVP because of how truly good he can be on both ends. And honestly, just kind of what he gives you out at the center position compared to like Zion, compared to let's say Paul George. What's the really big difference there? And then you got like MJ, let's say, compared to the second best shooting guard in the game. I think there's a bigger difference between KG and a guy like Dirk or Jokic than a guy like Zion compared to Paul George. Next, we're going to talk about the non-auctionable MVP here. And so guys, cards that are like reward cards, not auctionable. We got our first card, who is a triple threat offline reward, Kermit Washington. He is not easy to get by any means. A very, very tough card to get. 29 Hall of Famers, 29 gold badges. I think he comes with an 81 3-ball, but that doesn't kill him because he does have the Dante XM base. So his base, as well as if you give him a shoe coach, you're going to be just fine because he does have a very, very solid release. But again, not easy to get. His player model is insane at 6'8", looks like 6'10", and Kermit is definitely insane. If you got him, you better run Kermit Washington for at least a little while. Next, we do get Wes Unseld. Obviously, you had to grind a decent amount for Wes Unseld. I personally didn't do the grind, but if you did, you got rewarded with a very solid card. Wes is absolutely incredible. Has the Kobe base, has the Pro 2 sides up escape, Pro 1 moving behind the back, I'm pretty sure. Crazy good stats as well as good tendencies. And then we get to David Robinson, our level 40 reward, who in my opinion is absolutely insane. Now at the primary center position, he's a step above Dirk, and it's not even close. But when it comes down to our non-auctionable MVP, who is the best out of all these cards? It's David Robinson. I wouldn't say by that much. I think it's closer than a lot of people give it credit to, but David Robinson is my best non-auctionable player in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. Then we're going to get into our all-tier team. So our first team is our all-Ruby team. Now this one was not easy to come up with because we did not get that many good Ruby players in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. Now I went through it a couple times. If I missed out on anybody, I apologize. But we're going to start out with our point guard, Killian Hayes. Now, he got locked in, obviously, with the triple threat online, where he got locked in the exchange. But if you kept Killian Hayes and did not lock him in, he is solid. He is serviceable enough. Again, we don't have that many good rubies in the game. Then we're going to run Felipe Lopez at the 2. I took DBG's advice. He said Felipe Lopez is better at the 2. We'd find out with this all-Ruby team because we're playing some really big type of small ball. I mean, it's a really small ball. You know what I'm saying? I said that wrong, but you guys get the memo. At the small forward position, we are going to run KPJ, probably the best player at this Ruby tier, and it's by a wide margin. KPJ with the J.R. Smith base can really just do it all, shoot the ball incredibly, as well as be decent enough on the defensive end. And then at the power forward position, we just plugged in Juancho again. Not a very deep front court here with Juancho. And then at the center position, Mitchell Robinson. Now, Mitchell Robinson's going to play some defense, but on the offensive side, not a card I would recommend anybody running. But center position was basically between him and Taco Fall. You guys do the math. At our all Amethyst team, we get a big step up with a lot of our positions here. Starting with Amethyst, Ronald Murray here. Think of Smush Parker, but Ronald Murray's just a little bit different, right? They're basically the same card. They're going to give you about the same thing. I ran Ronald Murray on my No Money Spent squad a couple of times. I like the card. The last game he ever played for me played very, very solid. So I'm super high on Ronald Murray. Then we're going to get into the Amethyst Zach LaVine card. Offensively, one of the top budget cards in the game. Now, defensively, he's still going to leave that little bit to be desired. And so that's kind of the hesitation I have with Zach LaVine. But I think we got enough defense here in our front court that Zach LaVine can hold it down at that shooting guard position. At the small forward position, we're going to go with Brent Barry here. Again, just kind of offensively with the Hall of Fame Showtime. I don't love his release, but the Hall of Fame Showtime kind of put me over the edge, plugging him in here at our all amethyst team. Then Sekou Doumbouya, a card I absolutely am super high on here in Sekou. At the power forward position, just kind of gives you that versatility, can defend at a decent level. Now on the offensive end, he's gonna knock down open shots. And last but not least, at the center position, we do see all-star Pantheon Dwight Howard. Now this Dwight is basically the same as the pink diamond, so if you like inside centers, Dwight is going to be very solid. Now I would not like running Dwight Howard, but again, we don't have that many options at this center position that came out in season 5 as an amethyst player. Next, we're gonna look at our all diamond team here, starting with point guard Russell Westbrook. So really it came down to Russell Westbrook or Bob Sura. In my opinion, Russell Westbrook just has a slight edge over Bob Sura, hence why I'm playing the Galaxy Opal Westbrook over Bob Sura at the moment. Now here's the thing that Russ is going to give you. He's basically the exact same as the Galaxy Opal, just going to be incredible at attacking the rim. Now that's just the one thing about Russ. You know he's going to give you. He gives you that in real life, and he does give you that in 2K as well. Wasn't super high on Russ, the Opal Russ when he first came out, but now he is absolutely incredible with that release being on quick. Next, we do see the Diamond Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man here. Give him range extender, guys, and you can ball out with Ant-Man. He dunks on everything and everything. And I personally love Ant. Now, I don't run him on my No Money Spent squad account because he still goes for upwards of 20K, but Ant is absolutely incredible in NBA 2K21. Small forward position, we are running Klay Thompson, the sharpshooter there at the small forward position. Probably the best player here at the Diamond tier, just an absolute sniper. You're not going to miss with the card, and he does give you a great defensive player as well. At the power forward position, we do see another moments card in Tobias Harris. The thing about Tobias Harris here is he is gonna, like kind of similar to Ant-Man, right? Another moments player who I wouldn't say is quite as good as Klay Thompson, but he's gonna be able to shoot the ball. I think he does have steady shooter, but he has a pretty good release. Current gen, next gen, I think he's better on next gen, but he gives you kind of the best of both worlds. He's gonna be solid on both gens. Again, just another kind of plug and play guy there at the 4. And then our Diamond Sean Kemp. You guys know I love the amethyst Sean Kemp, so Diamond Sean Kemp here at the center position to round things off. Gives you that point center type of feel. And honestly, I might start running Diamond Sean Kemp on my No Money Spent squad account just because I know how valuable the Hall of Fame Showtime badge truly can be. Next, we do get our all pink diamond team. Now, at the point guard position, you guys might not agree with me, and that is okay. Everybody on this all pink diamond team is above 6'5". Now, our tallest player is Lamar Odom at 6'10". Now, when it came down to it, I had trouble coming up with this all pink diamond team just because there's so much talent everywhere. Now, honestly, you could go plenty of different ways at the point guard position. I just lean Shea because of his height, versatility, ability to attack the rim. I like Shea when I did my gameplay. I just think because he's a moments player and it's because his price is up there a little bit, he just gets overlooked, but he's still very solid. At the shooting guard position, shooting guard and small forward position, they're just gonna go hand in hand. You got Andrew Wiggins and Malik Sealy. These were probably the two easiest positions for me to fill out, just because Andrew Wiggins is so elite. Has the jump shot 22 on quick, which is absolute butter. Malik Sealy has that Ray Allen base. Again, just incredible defenders. Both are 6'8", give you good length, versatility on the offensive end. I absolutely love both of those guys. Then at the power forward position, initially I had Draymond Green there, but then I got to Lamar Odom and I was like, man, I cannot leave this guy off the all pink diamond team. Now, I'm not as high on Lamar as a lot of people, but with 23 Hall of Famers, it was hard for me to leave him off the list. And at center, obviously, we got Draymond Green. Playing a little small ball here with Dre. Initially, I had Cat at center, Draymond at power forward. Switch things around because I wanted to play small ball and just kind of get everybody on the court that can handle the ball. Has that mid-80s kind of ball handle that Cat doesn't have. But you could plug Sabonis in here. You could plug Cat in here for Lamar Odom. I just think Lamar Odom gives me that little bit more. Last but not least, we are going to talk about our all Opal team. Now, we don't have enough players to make the all Dark Matter team, but if we were making the best team in 2K, KG would be on the list, Zion would be on the list, and MJ would be on the list. But since we don't have enough for the all Dark Matter team, that will be a next season agenda. So we're talking about our all Opal team. Point guard position really came down to Luka Doncic or Magic Johnson. I gave the slight nod to Luka just because of his ability to shoot the ball a little bit better, but it all depends on your playstyle. If you want to run Magic Johnson over Luka Doncic, go ahead and do your thing. Now, I thought about plugging Magic at the point guard, Luka at the shooting guard ahead of Brandon Roy, but again, I just think shooting is so important with how I play my specific playstyle. That is why I gave Brandon Roy the nod at the shooting guard position with his incredible release. Now, the small forward position was tough. I thought about plugging Giannis in at the small forward forward position because I know I ranked Giannis one step above Kermit. But I think with Kermit's release, he just gives you that little bit more. The ability to get range extender at the 3 is very, very important. And I couldn't not play Wes Unseld at the 4. I wanted to get Giannis in here somewhere, but I just couldn't. So Wes Unseld at the 4, again, we all know what he does. 6'7", Pro 2, size up escape. He can dribble, he can shoot, he can defend. Wes Unseld is absolutely incredible. And then at the center position, the level 40 reward, my non-auctionable MVP, David Robinson. So the interesting thing here about the OPAL team is that 4 of these 5 cards are a reward card. So just kind of goes to show that you don't necessarily need the auction house to be great, right? If you can get David Robinson, get Kermit, get Wes Unseld, and Brandon Roy, you've got a pretty good core group of guys that can do their thing at a very, very high level. So this is going to be my last kind of award to give out today. I don't have anything more for you guys. I tried to put together a dark matter team with D-Rose, MJ, Zion, KG. We were just missing that one piece. But that is going to wrap it up for the video. Comment down below your thoughts, anything you agreed on, disagreed on. Let me know that down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.